Good evening, ma'am. I am the first reporter of Life and Works of Rizal. My topic is all about exile in Dapitan. Dapitan was a remote area in Mindanao. At that time, it was under the missionary jurisdiction of the Jesuit Fathers from 1892 to 1896. It became a bear witness of his prolific activity in his 4-year exile. It became a new home of Jose Rizal. His exile was a time of focusing his gratitude service to the people and the community by rendering his medical practices, agricultural developments, big works, and promotion of education. That time daw sa dapitan is sa upat niya ka tuig is daga na siya og mga na-sacrifice nga mga service yu alang sa mga katawhan sa community, and then nag-practice po na siya sa medisina para ang mga katawan is kanang kung na sila masakit sila or unsa makuan sila is matabangan ni Dr. Rizal. Recommendation later from Pablo Pastel. Upon the arrival to the fatal, Rizal carried a recommendation letter from the superior of the Jesuit Society in the Philippines, per Pablo Pastel, informing the Jesuit Parish Press of Dapitan, per Antonio Ovac, about Rizal to temporarily stay at the Parish Convent upon the following condition. First, that he publicly retract his errors concerning religion and mixed statements that were clearly pro-Spanish and against revolution, that he performs the church rites and makes a general confession of his past life, and that henceforth he conducts himself in an exemplary manner as a Spanish subject and a man of religion. Rizal did not accept this opportune condition. As a result, he resided in the house of his commandant, Captain Ricardo Carnicero, who was warm, hospitable, generous, and friendly. They became close friends. As evidence, Rizal wrote a poem entitled "A Don to Ricardo Carnicero" during his birthday on August 26, 1892. Sa recommendation letter nga nagikan kay Per Pablo Pastel is nag-highlight siya ng mga kondisyon na gitakda para sa pananatili ni Jose Rizal sa dapitan matapos ang kanyang pagpapalis. Then ni Rizal, wala gi-accept ni Rizal ang opportune condition para maano niya ang iyahang paniniwala ug prinsipyo. That's all. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm Aris El Sultan, and today I'll be presenting my video report about Troquel life in Dapitan. So, okay, let's start. Lucky on September 21, 1892, Dr. Jose Rizal, together with Captain Carnicero and Francisco, Spanish President of Dilopog near Dapitan, was informed by mail boat Butuan that they won the second prize of 20,000 in government-owned Manila lottery with the lottery ticket 9736. This lesson is about Dr. Jose Rizal peaceful life in Dapitan. On September 21, 1892, si Rizal nadaog og 6,200 gikan sa lottery sa Manila. Kauban si Kapitan Carnicero at Francisco. And then, ibinahagi niya ang pera sa kanyang ama, kaibigan at ginamit ang natira sa pagbili ng lupa sa Talisay. At nagtayo siya ng 3 bahay, ang isa para sa tirahan, ang isa naman para sa manukan, at ang isa para sa paaralan at hospital. At tinuruan niya ang mga batang lalaki ng aritmetika, Ingles at Espanyol at ginamit niya at binahagi ang kanyang alam sa medisina upang gamutin ang mga may sakit. Kaya gihimo niya ang ospital sa isa ka balay nga iya napalit para makatabang sa iyang kapwa o sa iyang mga kauban. Ang iyang life sa dapitan is very peaceful and comfortable. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Shangris Ann Satorinas and my assigned topic is all about community mission in Dapitan. Rizal practiced his medicine in Dapitan. He offered his service for free. So si Rizal is that nagpractice siya og medisina kay sa Dapitan. He had many poor patients nga gikan pa sa nagkalinglaing lugar sa Pilipinas. Si Rizal niadtong panahona is that ka-offered siya service for free para sa tanan. Pero aduna gyapon siya mga pasyente like mga dato is mobayad siya kay tungod siyang surgical skills. A physician who is interested in medical plants. We all know that Rizal was a physician. So kung moingon tag physician is manggagamot, right? So niadtong panahona is nahimong interesado si Rizal sa mga halamang gamot sa Pilipinas para mao iyang gamiton as local medicine. Iyaha kining istadihan kung unsay values ani o kung makakure ba gyud siya sa atoang mga sakit. Human nahimong interesado og istadihan ni Rizal ang mga halamang gamot diri sa Pilipinas is iyaha na kining giuse as prescription para sa mga pobreng uyamot nga dili maka-afford og palit og mga tambal like mga capsule ni adtong panahona. A teacher taught young boys under the Talisay tree. So aside sa pagiging physician, si Rizal is isa pud siya ka teacher nga nagtudlo sa mga young boys nga magbasa, magsulat about Spanish and English language, history, mathematics about geometry and arithmetic, industrial work, environmental study, ethics, and sports. So after gitudloan ni Rizal ang mga young boys, is iyaha kining giinstruksyonan kung unsay procedure sa pag-collect og specimen sa plants and hayop. He composed a poetic song, Himno at Talisay or Hymn to Talisay. So si Rizal is that nag-compose siya og poetic song, Himno at Talisay, in honor to his favorite rendezvous young boys under the Talisay tree. So from me, ang important message from Rizal Hymn to Talisay is that despite sa mga challenges and struggles nga ilahang gi-face, it is important to remain resilient and hopeful. And of course, the poem celebrates the beauty of Talisay, but also serve as metaphor for overcoming adversity and finding strength in the face of difficulties. So the lesson learned sa life now is that to appreciate the beauty in life and never lose hope even in the darkest time. A natural scientist, he discovered some rare specimens which were named in his honor. So si Rizal is that isa pud siya ka scientist nga naka-discovered og tulo ka mga rare specimens. Among these was Draco Rizali, a flying dragon, Apogania Rizali, a small beetle, and Dracopurus, a rare frog. So, ang Rizali daino is that gikan siyang surname nga Rizal. Rizal was born linguist and was interested in studied the language and Dapitan. So si Rizal is that nahimong interesado ug iyang giistudyan ang language sa Dapitan. I-compared niya ang Bisayan, Subanon, and Malayan language nga nag-exist sa ilahang region sa una. In fact, he knew 22 languages such as Tagalog, Ilocano, Bisayan, Subanon, Spanish, Latin, Greek, English, French, German, Arabic, Malayan, Hebrew, Sanskrit, Dutch, Catalan, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Swedish, and Russian. Participated in any civic works in Dapitan. He created a relief map of Mindanao using stones, soil, solid grass right in front of the church. He beautified Dapitan with the assistance of Father Francisco Sanchez, his Jesuit teacher. So si Rizal is that nagaparticipate pud siya og civic works sa Dapitan. Then naobserbahan ni Rizal nga ang community sa Dapitan is nabilong sa poor situation sa Pilipinas niadtong panahona. So he drained the marshes there to get rid of the malaria, og na-found Rizal nga ang carrying silang sickness is that ang mosquitoes. Then he also used his personal money from being a physician to provide the lighting systems along the road. After that, is gipanindot ni Rizal ang Dapitan uban sa pagtabang ni Father Francisco Sanchez, ang iyahang Jesuit teacher. After that, is nag-create si Rizal og relief map sa Mindanao using ang stone, soil, solid grass at tubangan sa simbahan. And that's end my report, guys. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I'm Jesbic S. Platil. Today I'll be presenting on a secret assembly of the Katipunan, an important event in the Philippines history that played a significant role in the movements of independence. We will discuss the event leading up to the secret assembly, the Katipunan plans, and the role of Dr. Jose Rizal. First is Secret Assembly of the Katipunan. On May 2, 1896, a secret meeting of the Katipunan was held at the Bitukan Manok River in Pasig. So this meeting was led by Andres Bonifacio, also known as the Great Pablian, along with Dr. Pio Valenzuela, who was designed as a emissary to Dapitan, and Katipunan, a revolutionary organization founded on July 7, 1892. So, to overthrow Spanish rules and establish an independent Philippines nation, this assembly was crucial in strategizing their next step towards revolution. So, second is informing Rizal about the revolution. Andres Bonifacio instruct Dr. Valenzuela to inform Rizal about the plan of the Katipunan to launch a freedom revolution against the Spaniards. So during the meeting, Andres Bonifacio recognized the influence of Dr. Jose Rizal and believed his support would greatly benefit the revolutionary cause. And he assigned Dr. Pio Valenzuela to personally travel to Dapitan, where Rizal was exiled, and pursued him to endorse the Katipunan plan for revolution. And Rizal approval was seen as essential to unifying the Filipino people and legitimizing the uprising. So third is Journey to Dapitan. On June 15, Dr. Valenzuela, accompanied by Raimundo Mata, sailed on the steamer Venus to solicit medical advice from Rizal. They reached Dapitan on the evening of June 21, 1896, and were welcomed by Rizal. So, on June 15, 1896, sila Dr. Pio Valenzuela, accompanied by Raimundo Mata, a blind Filipino patriot, boarded the steamer Venus. Their official reason for visiting Rizal was to seek medical advice for Mata, which provide them a credible excuses to meet with him. Upon arriving in Dapitan on June 21, 1896, they were warmly received by Rizal. This encounter would determine Rizal's stance of the upcoming revolution. So, fourth is Rizal response to the Katipunan Plan. After Super Dr. Valenzuela told Rizal about the Katipunan Plan, however, Rizal declined the offer, objecting to the Bonifacio's premature idea of bloody revolution. So, the evening after Super Dr. Valenzuela and Rizal engaged in a serious conversation in the garden, Valenzuela disclosed the Katipunan Plan for armed revolution and request Rizal's support. And however, Rizal opposed the idea of the immediate uprising, believing that it would lead to unnecessary bloodshed and failure. His perspective was shaped by his belief that the Filipino people were not yet adequately prepared to sustain an armed struggles. Here's the Rizal objections. Rizal has two major concerns. One, the people were not ready for a revolution. Two, weapons and funds must be gathered before raising the cry of revolution. He also rejected the Katipunan plans to rescue him, as he did not want to break his word of honor to Spanish authorities. So that is Rizal had two major concerns. No? Rizal provide major objection of the Katipunan plan. Number one is the lack of readiness among Filipino. So Rizal believed that the Filipino needed more education, organization, and unity before engaging in a revolution. So, ang kaduha pod kay the need of resources. He emphasized that before launching an armed revolt, the Katipunan needed to secure enough weapons and financial resources to sustain their efforts. And additionally, Rizal firmly reject the Katipunan's offers to rescue him for exile. He stated that he had given his word of honor to the Spanish authorities and did not want to break it, demonstrating his commitment to his principles. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and I'm the continuation of the chapter 9 reporters, and my assigned topic is Jose Rizal's decision to volunteer as a military doctor in Cuba. First, the Cuban Revolution. Outbreak of the Cuban Revolution in the late 19th century shirted opposition in Cuba, urgency for medical support from volunteers. Second, Rizal's volunteerism. Informational support from Ferdinand Blumentritt. Rizal's willingness to help without hesitation. Date of his volunteer letter, December 17, 1895. Third, anticipating a response. Rizal's growing concern regarding the delay. Doubts about the acceptance of his request. Then, Governor Blanco's response. Date of response, July 2, 1896. Acceptance of Rizal's offers for service. Details of travel arrangement of Cuba. Then, relief and freedom. The governor's approval allows Rizal to travel. Joyous moment expressing freedom and hope. The next, El Canto del Viajero. Rizal wrote a poem celebrating his upcoming journey. Poem signifies joy and inspiration for safe travel. And then last, legacy of Rizal's service. The Rizal's commitment to helping those in need. His enduring legacy, a patriot and doctor. Then thank you everyone for listening.
Good day everyone, my name is John Mark Salvador and my assigned topic is all about Rizal's arrest and detention in Barcelona. Okay? On the 3rd of October, Rizal was arrested and incarcerated on board upon reaching in Barcelona. Okay? At this time daw, no? Rizal was arrested and gikulong daw siya sa barko, then he was put in a cabin for 3 days with the heavy guards. At that time, the ship captain was no longer Captain Aliman. On October 6, General Eulogio Despujol, the military commander of Barcelona, kauban ang mga gwardya, naghimo sila preliminary investigation kang Rizal. Then, he notified Rizal to be shipped back to Manila on board the transport ship in the evening. Then, pag-abot na ng gabi una, the ship left Barcelona with Rizal, kauban ng mga sundalo, opisyal, ug ang pamilya. I think that's all because my topic is very understandable, and thank you for listening.